Welcome to CP101, and we're going to start a new project, and this is going to be for Madlabs TV and movie group build. As you saw in the intro video I did a while back, this is the MRC Anubis from the movie Stargate, and he's a 1/9 scale, so he's not really all that big, and I think it's going to be pretty fun. It's another figure kit. We're in the middle of our winter, so I won't be doing any cars or anything shiny with four wheels anyway until we get into spring. It'll be mostly figures and military stuff for now. Probably until March. That's when our weather usually starts breaking and we get days that are warm enough to paint outside. So on this video, we're just going to talk about how we're going to do this, kind of a think out loud kind of thing, so you can kind of know what's going to be coming up in the future with this kit. The first thing I want to talk about is the base. If you build this right out of the box, the Stargate itself is the base that Anubis stands on, and that's okay, but I kind of like this box art. I think the box art's pretty cool, and I like it how they have the Stargate behind Anubis, and that's how I want mine to look. So we're not going to be using this as our base. We're going to cut this out and open this up, and I want this behind Anubis, thinking of the other kit. Anubis, just like the box art. So what we're going to have to do is have to make our own base, obviously, since we're not going to be using this. Now, I don't want, because I don't have a lot of room in here where I display my models, so I want the footprint on this to be fairly small, but it's going to have to be big enough to support the Stargate being raised up a little bit, and a little bit of ground stuff for some interest. So probably the size, and this is pretty close to 5x7. This is the booklet or fold out of the kit, and there's not a whole lot of pieces to this since it's a figure kit, but this is about the size. There's a painting guide, but this is about the size of the base. This is roughly 5x8, so I'm thinking a 5x7 base is what I'm thinking, and I think that'll be enough room to build a platform to raise the Stargate up and get it a little higher than Anubis, so we can have this, let me lower my camera a little bit, have this above Anubis. Here is the two halves of Anubis. This is his front and back, and the back just fell off. But basically I want it to be where he's standing like this, and then the base will be up and a little bit above his head or equal to his head, but I don't want it down here. I want it up here a little bit. Kind of like the box art. Well, exactly like the box art. So we'll have to make a platform to raise this up a little bit. So we'll make our base and platform out of a foam board, and I got me two big sheets of foam board from the dollar store, and I never knew the dollar store had foam board. We went there to get a couple things, and I went to get some more acrylic holders here, and I went down the office supply aisle, and there were big old sheets of foam board, and I thought, well, that's cool. Saved me the trip of having to run out to Hobby Lobby. So we'll be making the base out of foam board, so we'll cut that piece again like a 5x7, and then we'll make like a platform. I have a picture, and I think it's from the TV show, of a Stargate where it's kind of out in like a meadow woods kind of deal, and it's up on a stone riser, and then you have stone steps going up to the Stargate. So it's kind of be like that, not exactly like that, but kind of be like that, where we'll build a riser out of foam board and maybe paint it like stone, and then have the Stargate sitting on that, and then we'll make, I don't know if I'll make steps because I have to be awful short because we don't have a whole lot of room here. But we'll have that riser and then the Stargate sitting on that. And then maybe a couple steps with a couple risers. I could probably squeeze that in there, and then we'll have Anubis standing about here in the front of the Stargate. Actually, the Stargate will probably be, because of the riser, probably be about here. So we'll have enough room to get maybe a step or two in there, and then we'll have Anubis standing there. So I think that'll be, I think it'll look way better and make the kit just be kind of cool. That little cool factor, So that's some of the plans for the base. And Anubis, as you saw in the beginning of the video, his eyes lit up a nice blue. So we're going to do the same thing with this Anubis. We're going to light his eyes up, and that should be pretty straightforward and easy peasy there. The only thing we're going to have to do, because the head is multiple pieces, the head piece here, we're just going to have to cut the eyes out on the, if I can find the face piece. Is this it? This is the face piece. We'll just have to cut the eyes out on the face piece here. And then the back piece of the head piece, if I don't know where it's at, probably on the other tree here. There's only 2 trees of this kit, well 3 if you include the body. But the back of the head piece, which is on this tree, what we'll do is we'll mount the, we'll either use an LED or I'll probably use an SMD because I have blue SMDs. We'll mount the SMD to where it's pointing towards the face, obviously, and that'll make the eyes light up and it won't be overly bright. If we push the SMD back, it'll disperse the light a little bit more. So it won't be so hot, be such a bright blue, because I don't want it to be a real bright blue. I think that'll work out pretty good. So we'll have to paint the inside of his headpiece black. The body we ain't got to worry about, because the light's going in there. So what we'll do is, before we glue the 2 halves of his body together, I'll take and run my wiring through the body. We'll take my router bit for my Dremel motor and we'll hit it up here on the neck, and one of the feet will hit. You don't need to take much out because the wiring I'll be running is probably going to be 27 gauge wrapping wire, because that's pretty small gauge. And we'll run that wire up through the body and up into the headpiece, and then we'll have enough left coming out from the foot to run to the base, to the battery supply and switch and stuff. I think the SMDs I have, I don't know whether they're 3 volts. I think they're 3 volts. So we can probably run it off a, I can find the batteries, I can never remember. The 2530s, I think that's what they are. I can never remember the number. But it's the one I always use. I got some brand new ones. I don't know what the hell I did with them. Put them somewhere. All right, here. The 2032. We'll probably run it off of one of these. And that's all we're going to need, because it's just going to be one SMD. So I have some coin holders. We'll mount the coin holder underneath the base. So the base will have to be on a riser. At least the thickness of the coin holder. And they're not that thick. So I'll probably make the riser maybe 1/2 inch thick, and then we'll put the platform on top of that, and that'll give us enough room for our battery holder. And we'll need a switch, obviously, to turn it on and off. So I'll either use a toggle switch, which I have, or a push button, one of the two, to turn the light on and off. I'm having a hard time talking today. But I got micro switches both in toggle and push button, so it'll be one of the two. I got them from Jerry over at HDA Model Works. That's where I get most of my components from, because his prices are pretty good. Jerry's he's an honest and upfront guy, and you ain't gotta worry about buying anything from him. So I like to go to people I can trust, and I can definitely trust Jerry at HDA. So that's kind of our plans on what we're going to do with Anubis here. Painting, the box art is pretty accurate. The only thing different that I think is different, or wrong anyway, is they say to paint the headpiece here gold, and I have pictures of the prop that was used. I don't know if it was a movie or TV show, but to me it looks more like a copper color than a gold color. Got a little bit of green and a little bit of weathering. Kind of like an aged copper look. And instructions say here to paint it gold, but I don't think we're going to do that on the headpiece. We'll follow it on the rest of it because the rest of it is right. It was turquoise and this dark purple. They have the box art a little lighter, but in the picture it's a little darker than these, but it's the right color. The only thing they got wrong is, as I said, the headpiece. Everything else looks correct. So we'll paint it like the box art here. We'll use that as a reference because it's pretty accurate. The only thing I have to look up is the color of the Stargate. I don't remember what color it was. I know these lit up. And if I had the time and the patience, I'd cut all these out to light them up, but we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to paint them to simulate them being lit, turned on. So what we'll probably do is paint them a real bright yellow, each one of these, and we'll go back with probably a clear orange, and just do the edges to make it appear as if they're lit, turned on, and that should give us that illusion that they're on, and we'll do it that way. And then we'll just need to figure out the color of the ring. I don't know if it was a gray or a gunmetal or whatever hell color it was. I'll look that up, see what it was. And then obviously we have to cut this out. And it shouldn't be too hard to do with a Dremel motor. Poke it right out of there, punch it right out, so that won't be too bad. We're up to 12 minutes, that's plenty long enough. So that's our plans for Anubis. Ooh, almost like that right off. That's our plans for Anubis, and I think it's going to be fun, and I think it'll be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to this. It should be great.